What's up, YouTube? Okay, so I recorded a video already today, but that's beside the point. So YouTube decided to recommend a clip from Asmongold where he's reacting to the drama that is Boogie 2988. And the greater point of this video is I'm going to show you how fucking easy it is for a person to make a claim and then prove that claim. This includes medical claim, okay? So let's jump into the clip.
So Boogie apparently,
Yes.
he's been having a bad day.
Why don't you just tell
Bad few
the
years.
I don't want to destroy a human life. Because I don't want to destroy someone's life. Because I don't want to destroy somebody's life. Because I don't want to destroy somebody's life.
Okay.
Whose life?
Yes, you do.
Bro, I love how Wings is not even phased.
No.
I ask whose life because he's talked about his doctor and he doesn't want to cause trouble for the doctor that supposedly diagnosed him.
I don't. I will divulge no more medical information to any of you motherfuckers.
You ain't got to tell me what it is.
Now, so in a different clip, he refuses to do the same thing, and his reasoning is for privacy. You know, he doesn't want to divulge that. But Boogie 2988 is an individual that has publicly on YouTube talked about his marriage, dating, relationship, financial issues, medical issues, weight issues. At this point, I'm surprised he hasn't fucking talked about him masturbating or some fucking bullshit like that. All right, he puts so much shit on YouTube and social media in general that the one time he's asked to prove the claim that he's making, somehow he thinks it's detrimental. So like I said earlier, the point of this is I'm going to show you how fucking simple and easy it is to prove a claim and then back it up with, you know, proof. That is, ironically, in no way, shape, or form goes against my personal privacy, so on and such forth. Back in 2014, my oldest sister passed away from colon cancer. Okay, here's partial proof right here. Now, granted, you might be saying, well, anyone could be in a medical bed in a hospital for any number of reasons. This could be COVID for all you know, right? I could be lying out my ass trying to get some sympathy. Well, no. Besides that, I'm not that much of a fucking douchebag, unlike Boogie. All right? And I understand that claims require what we call evidence. On the official Dignity Memorial website, here it is. Obituary, Stacy Lynn Paratano, Lawncrest Chapel and Memorial Park. Stacy Lynn Paratano, 33, of Reading, passed away Tuesday morning, April 1st, 2014, at Shasta Regional Medical Center from colon cancer. This is a website. This isn't some image that I made or anything like that. In fact, I'll show you how I got here. I just simply Googled my sister's name, and it pops up right here. Okay? You know, extraordinary claims require extraordinary proof. Now let's get into the next thing. So back in 2020, I was in my room. I forget what I was doing, but I was doing something. It wasn't anything active like jogging, working out, or anything like that. And my heart started to race for no reason. We're talking fast. Now, this happened earlier, like years earlier. The first time it happened, I Googled it. It said I might have heart palpitations. So I just kind of ignored it because it didn't happen a lot. But then it started to happen like, you know, twice a year, 3 times a year. And normally I would just sit down or lay down and it would stop fine and dandy. Well, this time it didn't. I sat there and I must have laid there for maybe 3-4 minutes and it didn't stop. Usually I lay down, sit down, it stops within less than a minute. So I wandered into like, hey, Dad, I think I need to go to the hospital. Of course, just so we're all on the same page, I did not say it with that tone because I was almost groggy at this point, kind of dizzy. So we get in the car. Dad takes me there. This is the beginning of COVID. So they had already, you know, you can't go in with people that come to the hospital or you bring to the hospital kind of thing. You can't go visit people in the hospital. My dad drops me off, makes sure that I'm able to walk in there of my own accord, which I did. I checked in, told them why I was there. I sat in the waiting room. I thought this was kind of ridiculous because I came in with a heart problem and I had to wait 8 minutes. It may not seem like a big deal, but I mean, I've heard horror stories and it seemed usually in a hospital when anyone comes in with any kind of heart related thing, my knowledge is supposed to be seen right away. But anyway, 8 minutes later, the nurses are doing their initial checkup and, you know, they're listening to my heart and that's when shit rolls into gear. They tell me they're going to give me a drug that is designed or going to slow my heart rate. When it fails, they're like, okay, now we're injecting you with a painkiller because, well, that other stuff didn't work. And we got to use this old EK thing to shock your ass. and it's basically going to reset your heart. It's going to get it to stop and restart, which that hurt like a motherfucker. That painkiller did not work in any facet that thereof. Later on, because I was, obviously eventually taken to the emergency room after that, and I sat there for I don't know how many hours. I just wanted to go home at this point. I was like, everything's good. Can I go home? Blah, 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 blah. And that's when the doctor showed up. He's all right. You weren't having heart palpitations. You have AFib, which is another heart condition. He's all, now you can't have both of these, because when I came in during my nurse checkup, I also told him that I had Wolff-Parkinson's-White syndrome, WPW. And so the doctor said, you can't have both of these heart conditions at the same time. That could be fatal. So with that being said, what is Wolff-Parkinson's-White syndrome? Wolff-Parkinson's-White syndrome, your heart has a right and left ventricle, has basically wiring that electrical surge follows. Somewhere along the wiring, there's this little piece sticking out right here, okay? So when the electrical surge hits you, it just fires off into the heart, caused my left to fire before my right, giving me a slow heart rate, according to the military when I was originally diagnosed with it. Ironically, it was also something that should have disqualified me from joining the military, but they found it after they allowed me to join instead of before. So they became responsible, to which I'm lucky for that one, because that was a massive expensive fucking bill. I think it was over $250,000. Like the helicopter ride was 50, 60K. The ambulance was like 20, 25K. I'm like, God damn, heart shit is expensive. All right. Of course, anything in the hospital is expensive. Now, the whole point, as I've been saying, is, extraordinary claims require motherfucking proof. Now, this isn't the hospital that I went to for the emergency initially. This is the hospital that they transferred me to via helicopter/ambulance. Okay, I don't have log information for the other hospital. So here we are, 37 years old, Wolff-Parkinson's-White syndrome. That's what WPW stands for. You can Google it, it'll pop up, with AFib. Okay, now we go back to the appointment for this one. We click on the doctor instructions after they discharged me. So this was after I got my ablation. So the ablation was relatively simple. Did a surgical cut in my thigh, go into the main artery. They took whatever device, I don't know. I was asleep during this process, okay? Something up my main vein, made all the way to the heart, and that little piece of wiring, they burned it off. Now, the doctor at Mercy, how he explained this to me, because I had AFib, he was like, normally if you didn't have Wolff-Parkinson's-White syndrome, this would happen and you really wouldn't even be able to know. It'd be more like you went for a jog or a run, okay? So that's as fast as your heart would get. He's all, I want you to imagine there's a computer in your heart, and this computer tells your heart that it cannot go beyond this amount of beat. Well, because I had Wolff-Parkinson's-White syndrome, it created a bypass, which allowed the heart to exceed that. And the doctor was also surprised because I was conscious when I came in at 300 beats a minute, because he told me 300 to 400 beats, person usually can pass out, and 400 to 500 beats is cardiac arrest. So, I mean, this shit is not hard. If you're going to make a claim on the internet for whatever reason, blogging or otherwise, and then somebody's like, I'd like a little bit of proof, there is nothing preventing you from doing that. Because I mean, look at this. This is the discharge instructions for me. There's no personal information anywhere on this whatsoever. I'm pretty confident Boogie probably would have got something like this based on any hospital that he went to that he could easily show. So he literally doesn't even have to show the actual test, because the discharge instructions would give him, this is how you're going to treat this. This is our plan. This is what we're going to do. This is what you need to do. And then, of course, the other iteration to this is I went and I showed you this. As we can see, there is nothing on this that is personal or private information. And I was able to log in and show this information.
2 moments later.
Why don't you say what you
moments later, oh god.
want to say about the situation?
I say over and over and over again, I hate being alive, I hate being alive, I hate breathing, I hate being alive. I'm in tremendous pain, I'm in tremendous pain. Help me, help me, help me.
Oh,
I'm
God.
in so much pain, I'm in so much pain, I'm in so much pain.
You're in so much pain, you're able to act like that. You hate being alive, and yet you're 50 years old, still attempting to live. I think at the end of the day, you just want sympathy from people because you don't want to take care of yourself. I think that's what this comes down to. You probably got less views, so you probably thought if you mentioned cancer, you'd get more views, even though ironically your views were stagnant even after that. And there's something my mom always told me growing up, is if I just admitted to whatever it was that I knew I did. Like normally she'd be, who stole the money? All right, this happened. Just admit to it and you'll get in less trouble. My mom slapped me across the face for it because I admitted to it. I was like, well, there's no going back. All right, kind of hard to lie about it if you got the money on you. You know what I'm saying? So my mom slapped me, and then I had to pay my mom double the amount of money, even though she got her money back. I still had to pay her the money that I stole, plus she doubled it, but I didn't get grounded or anything like that. And the reason why I mention this is because, instead of digging yourself deeper and deeper into a goddamn hole, Boogie, just fucking admit that you lied and deal with the consequences. Or, like I've easily shown, you can easily show proof that absolutely has no personal private information on it whatsoever that will ultimately prove the claim that you're making. Because as of right now, I see you the way that I see Gerard, the completionist. You're a piece of shit. People need to stop watching your videos. They need to stop giving you attention, because at the end of the day, you're both just attention whores. And until you do or say otherwise, mostly do, because it's easy for you to say a lot of bullshit. So until you do otherwise and show people proof, you're full of shit. This isn't hard, as I've proven in this fucking video.